3, 2, 1. And we are live. Alright guys, welcome back to the live stream. Sorry for being late. Yes, we're back to the old schedule where Bobby is late. Today I am Daddy Bobby yet again. I had to take care of my son. Apologies for coming in late. Nevertheless, we're gonna have a fantastic live stream today. Slowly but surely I want to get back to the articles. We're going to discuss, of course, the new Boogeyman. After the Kudats virus, we have a Monkeypox swirling around and infecting everybody. Very, very dangerous stuff. But moreover, I want to tell you about that we have been warned. So very, very similar to the Event 201. I think most of you guys know about the Event 201. The same warning has been promoted, shown just last year, if I'm not mistaken, by your friends from the, can I even name it here? Let's call it the WEF. Anyways, we're going to jump into that in a minute. First, let me check the chat. Let me see who's here. And let me double check as well if you can hear me well, if everything is good this time, because last time when I went online, my mic wasn't working. It seems to be fine, but this time around I'm going to be much more disciplined with the chat and really have a close look on it. So we're going to be on the safe side. Anyways, that being said, last stream I wanted to show you my new Kindle. This is just an advertisement. I think you have to pay $20 to not have this advertisement. But anyways, really cool thing. Got it for my birthday by my woman. Very, very nice. And we have the first super chat. Thank you very much. Gonna read out in a second. Anyways, this is a PDF. This is not a ebook. I hope you can see it. This is why the font is not perfect. But nevertheless, really cool. Over the last 3 years particularly, I've been acquiring so many books. And I moved 3 times. Actually 4 times during that time. And it's a huge hassle to move all those books. I really love real books. It's cool. You can mark things in there, highlight stuff. It's quite amazing, but I want to get a place, a solid base at some point, and then I'm going to start buying books again. Until then, I'm going to use my Kindle. If you have any interesting books, let me know. At the moment, you guys know I'm deeply researching Islam. So therefore right now I'm reading a lot of Islamic stuff on my Kindle. Quite amazing. Okay, anyways, that being said, as I already mentioned, let me check the chat. Everything looks good. Bobby is too early today, says Morocco. Exactly, you know me well. Alright, anyways, let me answer the super chat first. And then I'm going to get into the chat. Javid, thank you very much. Ongoing supporter. Thank you one more time. Double donation by Javid. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting this channel. As I said numerous times before, we are not really monetized here. And I'm saying really loosely. Because yes, sometimes YouTube decides to throw $1 or $2 my way. As I showed you on my live streams, Ryan from Happy Healthy Vegan, poof, that's how it sounds when you open up sparkling water. No, it's not champagne, unfortunately. Anyways, when I reacted to Ryan, that video got 12,000 views, something on those lines, nothing major, but I got roughly $17 for that. And that's good, actually. That's actually good for YouTube nowadays. Since the adpocalypse, apparently, I haven't been on YouTube prior to the adpocalypse, but apparently it was better. And nowadays, man, especially if you're in a fringe, like I am here, you really don't get much ad revenue. So as I said before, most is censored anyways, demonetized, and then when they monetize it, it's not suitable for most advertisers because they're looking for something more, I don't even know what they're looking for, family friendly, let's name it that. And therefore, yeah, ad revenue from YouTube is super minuscule. However, due to your super chats and Streamlabs donations, we can let this YouTube channel continue. It's really like that. I love doing YouTube, don't get me wrong, it's amazing, but at the same time it takes a lot of time. And that time, if we're not getting anything back here, I cannot keep it up. That's just how it is. So obviously the monetary support goes a long way. And as I mentioned previously as well, even $1 helps, because if everybody would support with $1, that would be fantastic for a live stream. If you can support with $1, then leave me a thumbs up or check out the links in the description box. Maybe you have something there for you. All right, now back to Javid. Javid says, great stream with Ajana. She said her name is Alana, but her channel's name is Ajana. I think it's Alana or Elena. Couldn't see it live. This donation is for that stream. Thank you very much for that, man. Wish I could ask her some questions. Would like her to be back on and get deeper into how porn, feminism and liberalism affected her life. I think that's a fantastic idea, and she offered it herself. She would like to come back, and I would definitely have her back on. She is definitely a cool girl, and whilst we were talking about veganism, there were many, many things just unraveling. So the porn addiction, liberalism, feminism, even real animal activism. I was quite impressed with that resume. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to having her back on and then go deeper into exactly those topics. Thank you very much, Javid. I'm looking forward to that as well. Yet again, Javid, thank you very much for today's donation then. $10 one more time, thank you very much. Opinion on free melon society's physique before fruitarianism. That's interesting. Let me try to copy this link. I don't know why this doesn't work, man. I have this little window here where the super chats appear, and I simply cannot copy. Nevertheless, I'm still gonna try. Just give me a second. Yeah, that's gonna be easier like that. I heard about the Free Melon Society. I think it was on some live stream here. We reacted to something, and in the context of vegetable police as well. There was something there. I believe those guys collaborated, did live streams together. On that note, yet again, Casey doesn't want to speak to me at all, and we cannot copy. Nevertheless, one second, I'm still gonna echo Rai. Okay. Just one second, guys, until I find this link. Thank you everybody for supporting. I appreciate it. Okay, here's the streamer's dashboard. Uno momento, por favor. 1 second. I'm almost there, guys. Almost there. Almost there. Yes. I need a secretary or something. I need assistance here. Okay, here we are. Recent events, fantastic. Now let me copy the link. As I said previously as well, just like Javid did here, if you want me to check out a YouTube video, if you want me to check out any videos or any articles, etc., and you send this via Super Chat, then I will obviously be able to open it and react to it live. So if you have anything you want me to react to live, just send it through Super Chat and I'm gonna watch it immediately, right away. Okay. Now, so Javid says this is the Free Melon Society prior to veganism or raw veganism or fruitarianism, etc., etc. Can you see this? Yes, you can. Yes, we can. Okay, let's have a look how he looked like prior to veganism. Thank you for the super chat, guys. You never know with those musics. That's a pretty impressive feat, I have to say. It's very, very fast. He could really act in... What's the name again? The monkey movie. Rise of the Apes? Planet of the Apes, exactly. Looks very, very realistic. I'm impressed. It's quite amazing. Didn't know that humans can do that. Anyways, the physique. Yeah, so I remember the guy, we reacted to him. I know that his dad, or at least mother or father, is Afro-American, and therefore he had fantastic muscle building genetics. So right from the get-go I saw that, and yeah, you can see that he is super athletic to do stuff like this. Don't get it twisted, it really takes a lot of athleticism to move your body in such a way. Try this and film yourself, you're gonna look ridiculous. So this is really an amazing athletic feat. I am wondering if he can pull that off still nowadays. Nevertheless, when we saw his physique the last time, actually let us check it out, he looked much, much skinnier. However, the vegans will tell you, of course, here it is. Look at this. This is crazy how skinny he is. But of course, for vegans or even lay people, when they see such content, they think, yeah, well, he looks muscular, he looks fit. You mentioned Alana, and we talked about this, right? Oh, yeah, exactly. This, the fruitarian. We clicked on this video. Here you can see it. But here, he looks like on chemotherapy, and that is not an insult. It just is what it is. Can we see his body nowadays? Okay, 10,000 filters. Yeah, here you can see it. The guy is so much skinnier, so much thinner. Look at this. But yet again, if you have those normie eyes, they would say, yeah, that looks good. Wow, he built this muscle on a fruit-based diet. And as I said, with Alana we talked about it, and she thought as well, there's that for a fruitarian, I looked pretty fit, pretty good. That's the whole point. I had muscle before fruitarianism, way, way more muscle than I kept on fruitarianism. That's the same thing with this guy here, right? I mean, look at him here. Look at this. I hope you can see this. I'll make it a bit bigger, like so. This guy carried at least, and I'm being really, really conservative here, really conservative, at least 10 kilogram of pure muscle, more than he does nowadays. Honestly, hands down. Look at this. This is insane. He's no bodybuilder here either, don't get me wrong. But he has a solid frame. He has a lot of muscle. In comparison to this. This is absolutely ridiculous. And this is why, yet again, this guy is half black or 40% black or whatever the mixture is. He has great muscle building genetics. He built a great physique prior, and now he is maintaining as much as he can, clinging onto it like onto dear life. It's absolutely saddening to see, especially if you see him prior to this. So those are my thoughts. It's again a genetically gifted guy that just deteriorates, but due to his genetics and his previous athletic career, he still looks presentable, let's say, for people that don't know. But a six-pack on a skinny guy doesn't count, guys. It doesn't count. It's just like a big butt on a fat chick. It doesn't count. Okay, anyways, enough of this. I see that my green screen is giving out again. Let me adjust the lighting a bit. It was going so well. Let me return to the super chats. Thank you very much again, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Here we are. Arash Ahad, good to see you, brother. How are you doing? 10 bucks as well. Thank you. May God bless you and your family, brother. Same to you, brother. May God bless you and your family as well. I appreciate it. Javid, one more time. Thank you very much. The biggest supporter of today is Javid. Appreciate it. Have you studied Louis Simmons' West Side Barbell method, and have you tried his reverse hyper machine for your lower back? Rest in peace, Louis. I know about him, I know about his machine, I know about West Side Barbell. However, I have never tried the method, nor have I tried his machine. However, it looked very, very, very intriguing, and I would love to try it because I had a lower back injury years back. Snapped. Actually, it was with very, very light weight. It always happens when there is an uncontrolled movement. The heavy lifts went fantastic, but then in the end, the lightweight at the end of the training did it, and something pinched a nerve. Since then I had a back injury, so I would really, really love to try that out. Unfortunately, I never had the chance, and here in Europe I wouldn't know where I could find that machine to begin with. Anyways, again, thank you very much, Javid. Raw Fridge tipped $3, thank you. He says, greetings, brother. Any updates with your journey and research into Islam and Muhammad? What are your thoughts on Muhammad? Thank you very much for the donation. Thank you very much for the question. Bobby, are you burying a vegan? Plenty of vegans. New reaction videos are coming next week. Actually, tomorrow, Monday already. Finally, I got to it. It was very, very busy around here. Okay, anyways. So, as I was saying, my thoughts on Muhammad. So, let me put it this way. I got to know about Muhammad through David Wood, essentially. And I talked about this briefly on my Quran video as well. I never really knew anything about him until I started watching David Wood interviews, David Wood videos, David Wood debates. And yeah, I was pretty quick, looking back now, to draw a conclusion and simply say, he's this degenerate guy, that's it. So then, nowadays, I started reading the Hadiths. I started with Sahih Bukhari, and it's quite interesting. Up until now, everything that I read was, to be totally honest, kind of compelling and very, very cool to read, for the lack of better words, because it was essentially like a little insight into Byzantium. So I, being a Christian Orthodox, am very, very interested in the Byzantine Empire, and it was quite interesting that there was some interference with the Byzantine Empire and Muhammad as well. So very, very interesting stuff. However, I don't want to draw a conclusion as for now. The only thing that I can tell you is that I was extremely, and I still am extremely, impressed with the Quran. And therefore, if it has been revealed through Muhammad, that speaks for this guy as well. Because I simply cannot think less or cannot think bad about a person that would be able or would be chosen to recite the Quran. Again, this goes out to non-Muslims. I am a non-Muslim, actually a Christian Orthodox, as I said, but I kept an open mind and I read the Quran. And if you read it, and you would be able to simply not think about Islam, not think about Muslims, not think about anything, but rather just read it for what it is, the experience itself is quite powerful. And therefore, yet again, just by that piece of information, I have to say that I'm very impressed with, and therefore if Muhammad revealed that, then I would hold him in high regards. Then of course you have certain hadiths, but as I said, I only got to know about it through David Wood, and then I would Google and check certain things. I would have to read it as such and see it as such, and then make my conclusion, even though I have to say that hadiths are hearsay. Of course, the Muslims will claim that there are authentic hadiths, etc., and that might be so, yet again. I'm still researching, but for me, I'm not a huge history buff. So as much as I started enjoying learning about, for example, the Macedonian history, Bulgarian history, Ottoman Empire, etc., it's all interesting, but at the same time, I haven't been there. So I cannot verify it. So now a different person, some men, could tell me that this is verifiable and that this is correct. Yeah, but during my lifetime, I encountered many such claims, and ultimately it is an appeal to authority. That's just how it is. So if you look, for example, at, let's just say, certain political events, certain history that is being taught in this day and age, history is taught by the victors, and we simply cannot truly know if it is correct. You can't. There's no way ever to really know that it happened just like that. You would have to take it up on faith. That's just how it is. And with revelation, on the other hand, if there is no historical claim as such, but the claim itself can be verified in the now, in the present, that has a totally different resonating effect with me and I believe with people in general. So to base your faith upon a historical event is very, very, very tricky. I mean, even if we compare Christianity to Islam, Christianity itself, even if you look into the creeds, etc., is based upon a historical claim, right? So your faith is based upon Jesus dying and rising. So that is what the faith is based upon. And that process of dying and rising would then be a historical event. But as I said, historical events are unreliable and you can never truly know. You can not know. That's just what it is. You can never know what happened in Nazi Germany, for example. You can never know. No matter what they tell you, you can never truly know because you haven't seen it. And on the other hand, the truth claim to Islam would be that there is no God but God. Right? And that is a truth claim that can be verified within you in the now. And that is the very, very powerful core. Okay, anyways, thank you very much for the question. I'm going to keep on researching on that note. I said it before, I really want to do my research alone in the dark, so to speak, but nevertheless I did one reaction, but it's not your typical reaction where I react enthusiastically to vegans, but to a Quran video. So I listened, I looked at it, and I recorded that as well. I'm going to upload it maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday, and you can let me know as well what you think about that format, because I want to see if this is something that will be of value to you, to go along, so to speak, with me whilst I'm learning about Islam. If not, I'm just going to do it by myself, behind closed doors, ashamed under my pillow at night. But yeah, definitely check it out next week. I'm going to upload a video. Okay, now it is so unbelievably hot in this flat. And I have mosquitoes around me. I killed already plenty of them, dear vegans. I'm sure you do that too. But mosquito lives don't matter after all, right? It's just the fluffy cows. I know. Anyways, let's get to the topic of today's live stream. Guys, as I said, I want to get into the articles slowly but surely, not full blown. I'm definitely going to be here still and make this a hangout and make this a chat, etc., etc. But nevertheless, this is definitely something that we will have to discuss. As I said in the beginning of the video, the event 201. Do you guys still remember this? I have to adjust this green screen. This flickering is insane. 1 second, guys. That looks good. Like Santa Claus. Santa Bobby is coming to town. Okay, that doesn't get any better. Mamma mia. Let me try something else. Like this. Let's keep it like this for now. Okay, anyhow, do you remember event 201? This was an event. Actually, let me read it out so for people to catch up on this. Event 201, the John Hopkins Center for Health Security, in partnership with the World Forum. I don't think I can say those things anymore because otherwise they're going to delete the stream again. So with the WEF and the Billy Boy and blah 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 Gates Foundation hosted event 201. So Billy Boy and Schwab hosted this thing. And it was in October 2019. Mind you, the whole Kudats situation unfolded 2020. The exercise illustrated areas where public-private partnerships will be necessary during the response to a severe pandemic in order to diminish large-scale economic and societal consequences. So anyways, long story short, here you can see it, right? The usual suspects collaborated just a few weeks before this Boogeyman was released. And within this test, this exercise, they of course talked about a respiratory disease that will spread, what to do in a pandemic situation. Coincidence, total coincidence, right? So now, very, very similar to this event 201, here you can see that we had a strengthening global systems to prevent and respond to high consequence biological threats. Results from the 2021 tabletop exercise, yet again, conducted in partnership with the Munich Security Conference. This is done by NTI. So if you're wondering what the NTI is, NTI, here we have it, is building a safer world in cooperation with the World BDBDB Forum. Yes. Thank you very much yet again, Javid. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to read it out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So as you can see, the NTI is partnering with the World Forum. And now they did a exercise. They did this exercise, as you can see, 2021, so last year, in March, so pretty much 1 year ago. In March 2021, NTI partnered with the Munich Security Conference to conduct a tabletop exercise on reducing high-consequence biological threats. The exercise examined gaps in national and international biosecurity and pandemic preparedness architectures, exploring opportunities to improve prevention and response capabilities for high-consequence biological events. This report summarizes the exercise scenario, key findings from the discussion, and actionable recommendations for the international community. So now you might be wondering, why am I reading you this? As I said, this has been yet again a exercise conducted by your friends of Klaus Schwab. So what did they find? What did they discuss? Maybe a little background info here. Building a safer world, right? That's on the schedule. Nuclear, biological science and tech is on the schedule. Here you see Warren Buffett claiming NTI is the best buy on earth for increasing the probability that humanity will reach its glorious potential. Whatever that means. Its glorious potential. Okay, anyways, let's jump right in. I want to show you this. This is the summary of the exercise, and let's see what kind of scenarios they depicted this time. Would be interesting to hear, right? What could it be? So here you have the scenario design summary. What could happen according to the NTI? Let's zoom in, can we? Yes, we can. So as you can see here, hopefully, if I get my bald head out of the way, can you see this? I hope you can. Right here, the attack in this hypothetical scenario, the attack would happen May 15th, 2022, and would last till June 2022. That's the incubation time, I guess. And the scenario, here, I'm not making this up. This comes from your friend from the WEF and NTI. The move one, the first scenario, is the Monkeypox outbreak in Brinia. We have 1,421 cases, 4 deaths, no international warnings or advisories. Key issues are international alert and warning systems, benefits of and need for early risk assessment. And by reading this, I don't believe that monkeypox, the new boogeyman, will be on the level of kurats, but rather they will show you what they can do now by quickly locking down or quickly using tracking apps or quickly using masks, etc., because we're already used to it. This is not a drill, and they will show you how efficient their scientific methods, findings are. Nevertheless, I thought this is really mind-boggling. I wanted to show you this. This, of course, goes hand in hand with my saying that everything has to be presented to you and you have to get into an agreement with it. What do I mean by this? The elites are operating on the premise that you will have to agree to the laws and regulations that they impose onto you. As you can see, to this very day, the jab is still not mandatory in that sense. Of course, they stripped many people of plenty of rights. Nevertheless, it wasn't mandatory. As it is prophesied within the Bible, people won't get forced to get the mark of the beast, but they will beg for it. This is, in my humble opinion, God's law. There has to be an agreement, and humanity, unfortunately, still didn't get the memo, and they're still agreeing with anything the elites present to them, and therefore, well deserved, they're reaping the punishment. So in this case, as you can see, it has been prophesied by the same people that have prophesied the kurats. But this time, even more precise. They simply named it for what it is. Here you can see it. Monkeypox outbreak. You can find this on nti.org/WP-content. It is the NTI paper bio TTX final PDF. I would like to say I'm going to link it in the description box, but probably after this stream I'm not going to be able to, because the stream, let's face it, will get deleted again. On that note, guys, my streams are accessible. You can watch them, but only as a member. And yes, cheap Bobby over here, as I said already, $1 is enough. $1 is enough with me. You get anything you want. With $1 you can become a member, and then you can actually watch all the live streams. That is the only way to keep them up. It doesn't work any other way. So that's just how it goes. We have a few new members. Thank you very much. Welcome to the team. This is how you will have always access. Always is maybe a strong word around here in this territory, but as long as I'm on YouTube, you will have access at least in the member section, and you will be able to see the live streams. Live streams like this, sooner or later, because of medical misinformation, will be removed. Anyways, I hope this is of value to you guys. NTI, this is definitely a name to look out for. Stay alert. Okay, anyways, that was that. Now let me head back to the super chat by Javid. Thank you very much again, Javid. Merci beaucoup. Power. Here we are. Have you looked into David Irving work on Germany and the man that shall not be named? Starts with H. Cultured Thug on BitChute has good channel on the topic. I am familiar with the name David Irving, but I haven't looked into his work yet. Thank you very much, Arash Ahad. It's actually Arash Ahmad. I always say Arash Ahad. I like Arash Ahad. I already got used to it. Arash Ahmad. Anyways, thank you very much, Javid. I haven't looked into it, but guys, you can check my content on Telegram. I am pretty aware of this topic. I am not, and I'm not saying that just for YouTube, I really am not a nationalist or a neo-nationalist or anything on those lines. I really don't care for nations per se. especially after having this huge awakening and learning lesson with my own nation of Northern Macedonia. So I'm definitely not a nationalist at all. I do understand the talking points of nationalists. I get it, and there is a truth to it for sure. However, the history about Adi has most definitely been falsified quite a bit. But let's be honest, where doesn't this apply? Be it Gaddafi, be it Saddam, be it Bin Laden, etc., etc. What is really true? And that's what I'm saying one more time. Historical truth claims are very, very tricky subjects. Anyways, thank you very much again, Javid. I really appreciate your ongoing support here on this channel, man. Arash Ahmad. It was Arash Ahad, I'm pretty sure. By the way, Monkeypox, please read this Tagesschau. Okay, I'm going to check it out. That's in German. So maybe we'll be able to translate it. Let me see. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you very much, guys. Merci. I'm learning French. Not really, but I'm trying. Here we are. Okay. Erster Affenpockenfall in Deutschland. Deutschland, Affen. Okay, let me translate this to English. First, a monkeypox case in Germany. Spilled this water. Let me see how long it's going to take to dry. It's so hot in here, man. The monkeypox virus has been unequivocally detected in a patient in Germany for the first time. Since the beginning of May, there have already been outbreaks in several European countries as well as in the USA and Canada. A first case of monkeypox has been found in Germany. The Bundeswehr, that's the army, the German army, Institute for Microbiology in Munich, unequivocally, whatever, I am not a native speaker, guys, detected the monkeypox virus in a patient on Thursday, the Bundeswehr's medical service said. The patient had the skin lesions characteristic of the monkeypox virus, slight difficulty swallowing, and an elevated temperature. According to the hospital treating him, he is doing relatively well and has not needed any special medication so far. Yeah, sounds dangerous. Thank you again, Javid. Appreciate, bro. Patient stays in the hospital. The infection can be contagious for 3 to 4 weeks, which is why the patient remains in the hospital. According to Clemens, blah, 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 blah. As I said, this is definitely the next thing they're pushing. This is why I make this little live stream today. I just want to make it very, very clear. One last time. Same game plan with the event 201 we have here as well. So therefore, this could be the next thing. But from what I've seen so far, I don't believe that it's going to be as big as the previous thing. However, it is just steps on the way, nudging the people into the direction of agreement with their totalitarian lifestyle, which they will embrace under the totalitarian government's New World Order type deal here in our beautiful end times. That's just how I see it. Anyways, thank you very much, Arash Ahmad. Thank you. We have the first case in Germany. And very, very soon it will spread even further. Man, I have to leave Europe as soon as I can. That is for sure. Okay. 1 second. Here we are. Okay. Now, with another super chat. One more time. Thank you, Javid. Thank you, everybody on that note. Javid donated $4. Thank you very much. Are self-driving cars a hoax? Not looking forward to it. Depends how you define a hoax, because they definitely work. They're not that fantastic nowadays, but they will be at some point, of course. In certain cities in Germany, I've seen self-driving buses. That was quite impressive. They're mini buses, to be fair, but nevertheless, they drive you through the city without any pilot. So that's quite interesting, that thing steers you through the city by itself. That being said, that technology itself is not the hoax. It would be actually quite pleasant if you could simply set it on autopilot and cruise around. Why not? However, it all comes with a context. So if you look not only at the Agenda 2030, but beyond that, what has been planned for the future by your beautiful elites, it is always the same narrative. The talk is super mega technology, technocracy, essentially smart cities with a grid. Like you can see in the background here, my beautiful grid. What does that mean? There is constantly talk about preserving nature and that we are the danger to nature. We are endangering nature. We are so destructive to nature, not taking into consideration, of course, that we ourselves are nature. We are nature as well. We are part of nature. We cannot escape it, but this is what we've been told. So therefore, we are living in our cubicles. And ultimately, we have to stay away from those protected wildlife zones. This is why movies like Mother Earth, Our Planet, etc., exist. It's not because there are some independent filmmakers that love animals and they go to the wild and shoot some cool scenes of gorillas and sharks and whatnot. No, it's all propaganda pieces to tell you that you are destroying that wildlife, and the only way to keep it up is if you don't interfere with it. It's so amazing, it's so ingenious, at the same time so extremely retarded that you would believe anybody would see through it, but they really don't. 99% of people really don't, and they believe that they are the virus. They believe that they are the enemy to Mother Gaia. And therefore, I don't want to go on too much of a tangent here, but I kind of have to. Therefore, the smart city grid will control where your self-driving car goes to. That's the whole idea behind it. So you have go zones and no-go zones. And your car won't go there. And you won't be able to steer your car there because self-driving cars, they will be only self-driving. At first, you will have a car with an autopilot. But that very, very soon will be out of the equation because they can tell you simple things. There are too many crashes, too many incidences, too many deaths on roads. That is very, very dangerous. So what do? We get rid of the drivers. They're just absolutely reckless. And we will look back to those times as some sort of savagery where people drove their own cars 300 kilometers per hour. That will be illegal. Maybe you will be able to go to a racetrack if you're wealthy and there you can drive. But on public roads, it will be all self-driving cars. And now if you want to go for a cruise somewhere to the countryside, somewhere outside, somewhere to a forest, to a mountain and whatnot, you won't be able to do it at all. Your car just won't go there. So then, of course, you will have people that will start hacking those cars, etc., but the general population will simply stick to their cities. They won't be able to leave those cities. And on the outskirts, you will have the plebs, the disgusting subhumans, ultimately, that didn't go along with the progressive ways, and they will live in their disgustingly primitive communities outside as much as they are being left alone. But the regular smart city citizen won't be able to get there. That's what self-driving cars are for. That's all. Everything monitored, everything controlled. Ultimately, this whole life is a battle between good and evil. It is a spiritual fight. And good is simply love, and bad, hate, evil is simply fear. And therefore, power and control comes from exactly that evil energy, that fear. It all comes from fear if you want to control people and you want to make them behave in a certain way. Otherwise, that comes from fear, that comes from not being with God, ultimately. And this is what we see from our rulers here. They're going against the word of God. They're going against the morale, the ethic of God. And they simply seek enslavement of humanity because that would make them feel very, very secure. Okay, anyways, that is that. Thank you very much again, Javid, for the super chat. Thank you everybody that is supporting this channel. We all be on electric kick scooters and be happy about it. I have an electric kick scooter and I actually really love that thing. I even tuned it a little bit. It's quite the fun, I have to say. We are in spiritual warfare, yes, always. Real power comes from love, yes. I'm a truck driver in Germany. Modern trucks are terrible already. I wouldn't know. I've never drove them. What is so terrible about them? I heard Pfizer already has a monkey disease jab. I don't know about that, but I can show you what Pfizer has as well. Looks very, very promising. I can't wait. I can't wait to get my fingers on that new tech of Pfizer. Absolutely amazing. Check this out, guys. Techstartups.com. Pfizer has developed an ingestible pill. I kind of find it funny. Ingestible pill. Like, shouldn't pills be ingestible anyways? What else would you do with that pill? Ingestible pill with a biological microchip that sends a wireless signal to relevant authorities. Oh, the vegans must love this, right? This is perfect for them. After the pill is digested, unearthed video shows. Let's have a quick look. This here is the Pfizer CEO, Albert Bourla. And of course, he's speaking at the World Forum yet again. Quite amazing, right? That's always there. They're doing such fantastic work. It's amazing.
It is basically biological chip that it is in the tablet. And once you take the tablet and dissolves into your stomach, sends a signal that you took the tablet.
Good.
So imagine the applications of that, compliance. The insurance companies to know that the medicines that patients should take, they do take them. It is fascinating what happens in this field.
Did you hear it? Compliance. That's what they want. They want compliance. It's quite amazing how it works, right? People really see him as an authority because he has glasses and a suit on. It's quite mesmerizing to me how the human psychology works. I mean, of course, people grew up like that. If you would put on a cop uniform, everybody would think you're a cop. And they would treat you like a cop. That's all it takes. It's just an outfit. It's all a masquerade. It's amazing. So this guy sits here in the so-called economic blah blah blah. So therefore it must be legit. Wears a suit, wears his glasses. Thank you very much, Purity. Thank you very much as well for participating in my Telegram. Appreciate it. And guys, the link is in the description box. Check it out. Thank you very much. Anyways, as I was saying, quite interesting, right? They just put on their suits and now you must believe them. I'm the CEO. And it should be reported to the relevant authorities. Mind-boggling. Honestly, mind-boggling. So ultimately, let's create a great green future. Exactly. Thank you very much. Who was this? I can't see it. Just give me a second, I'm going to check it out. As I was saying, quite amazing, quite mesmerizing for me personally to see how people fall for this, being groomed essentially, even in school, to obey the authorities. And now you have this here, where it will be not mandatory yet again, but this medication should be taken and you will have to take it. And if you take it, we will see that you really, really took it. You can't fake it, right? So that's the thing. This is where this is headed, of course. We had many, many instances now that the jab certificate has been falsified by some people. And such things won't be able to be falsified. The same will apply, of course, to certain jabs then, with certain markings, DNA chips, yada, 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 all of that good stuff, so you can be reported to the authorities if you really took it. That's what it boils down to. Anyways, thank you very much, everybody, for the super chats. I'm going to read them out now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me just see something here. Okay. Here we go. Inception. Okay, first we got Purity. Thank you very much, Purity. $10. Appreciate it. Keep the good work up, Bobby, and maybe do live streams where you have discussions on certain topics. Assalamu alaikum to all my brothers. So, okay, what do you mean exactly? Discussion on certain topics. I do that sometimes, it depends. So for example, today, as I said, we are briefly going into it. So the main frame is Monkeypox, but moreover, we're discussing the things related to it. And of course, we're having, as always, a beautiful little hangout. I like those hangouts a lot because lately, first and foremost, I didn't do many live streams, but then when I did, I had either discussions with vegans or ex-vegans or whatnot. And on that note, next week, thank you very much again, David. Next week, Sunday, we will have a special guest. We will have John Venus on. Yes, John Venus disappeared from YouTube, I think, for almost a year by now. But he's gonna give you guys a live sign here on my channel next Sunday. We're gonna be discussing veganism. On that note, guys, thumbs up. Thumbs up. I see you're not thumbing up the video. It helps with the algorithm. Take the time, just a quick second, and like the stream. Anyways, Purity, as I said, usually I'm doing always a mixed bag of topics. That is true. Today we're doing basically Monkeypox and a hangout. But I really like the streams to have this open format where we can simply discuss stuff, because we always get back to topics when we have guests on. This is how I like to keep it. However, in the future, you never know. You never know how it will develop. I would like to stream more anyways. And if I do, then maybe I will be able to do one topic stream per week. Anyways, thank you very much for the idea. Appreciate it. And VY donated a sticker with a thumbs up. Thank you very much for $10. Merci. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, VY. Javid donated one more time, $3. Thank you very much, Javid. The SFC is not tech we need. It's cool to see, but the convenience factor is replicated when having a person drive you around. Same with bartender, robot arms. It's cool to see, but everybody prefers a person making you drink. Yes, of course, we prefer that, but people slowly but surely will get into that state where they will accept things. That's just how it is. Because look at those self-checkouts. I mean, ultimately, I would like to have a competent cashier, but they're pushing this idea that nobody wants to be a cashier anyways. Nobody wants to do those jobs, so ultimately, why not being served by a machine, or you serve yourself? And the same will apply to bars then as well. Yes, we do like bartenders, we like being surrounded by people, but this is exactly what they want to get you away from. From dusk until spawn, good to see you, brother, and welcome to the team. Thank you very much for becoming a member. Let's give him an applause. Welcome. Again, guys, as members, you can watch all the live streams that have been banned by YouTube. I have them for the member section only. Thank you very much. From dusk until spawn, I appreciate it. Javid says as well, I like the Hangouts, Bobby. Yeah, thank you, man. I like them too, because as I said, lately we haven't done too many of them. And if I can, I simply enjoy it a lot to just hang out with you guys and shoot a couple of topics out, watch a few videos and whatnot. It's very, very enjoyable for me. John Venus is vegan or not? Last time I checked, he wasn't, so now I don't know if he changed his mind. I believe no. So yeah, we're going to discuss it on Sunday. We'll see. It has been 1 year almost that he disappeared from YouTube. So it should be quite interesting to hear what he has to say. He got a second child as well. So I think we can discuss children, upbringing, nutrition for children, etc., etc. Evil do exist, yes, for sure. Okay, John Venus is patient 0. Getting ready while you're still free, that's the spirit with a lot of love. No, tell the truth, Bobby, you're still a vegan for all this time. Yes, exactly. I am still vegan for 3 years straight, ultimately. I've been keeping up a front. I use this here just to make money on YouTube, as Happy Healthy Vegan says, as you can see. This is just a monetary outlet and ultimately the greatest social experiment ever conducted by any YouTuber. I am still a vegan, in fact a raw vegan, and I've been promoting anti-veganism and attacking all the vegans around me. A few vegans are in on the joke, but most are not. So yeah, today I'm coming out. Ultimately, I'm still raw vegan / fruitarian, Bobby. You can see that on my face especially. It looks just the same like back in the day. And yeah, hence, go vegan, everybody. Absolutely. The people doing the fighting are not doing it. Okay, anyways, that is that. Thank you very much, everybody, for the support. Let's get into further articles and a few videos as well. As I said before, if you want to watch any videos, shoot a super chat and we'll be able to watch some videos as well. Actually, talking about veganism, I want to show you one thing. I know for normies or for people that are simply outside of veganism, this sounds outrageous and crazy, but we are totally used to this. Somebody has fallen for it yet again. Look at this. A vegan who drinks his urine daily swears it's secret to eternal youth. And I mean, as you can see, it's absolutely easy to see that this man here is in his eternal youth. He is young forever. He looks absolutely fantastically young, all right? Anyways, let's check this out. Let me just adjust this here. Come on. Microphone. That's better. Is P the fountain of youth? A 34-year-old vegan. Welcome to the channel. I cannot read that. A 34-year-old vegan in England swears the byproduct of relieving himself relieves more than just his bladder. Harry Metadine has claimed he drinks his own urine daily, saying that the stomach churning practice has cured him of his depression and made him look 10 years younger. You're not looking 24, bro. You don't. Just so you know. Matadine said he used to suffer from depression and severe social anxiety, but now with the P breath, no social anxiety anymore. Brave. Which he claimed was cured almost immediately after beginning urine therapy during the summer of 2016. In an open-minded and desperate attempt to heal. It was beyond my wildest imaginations how powerful it was when I drank it, he told Gem Press. From the moment I drank the urine, I woke up my brain and removed my depression. I felt a new sense of peace, calm, and determination, he said. I thought, wow, I can make it for free and always keep myself in this happy state. Metadine reportedly guzzles 200 milliliters, that's a glass essentially, of his own liquid waste every day. His daily drink often consists of month-old urine topped off with a splash of fresh pee. And this is how Matadine, or whatever his name is, looks like. As you can see, a beacon of health, absolutely jacked, absolutely radiant, and looks like 24 according to himself, 10 years younger than he is. So he's my age, but he looks 10 years younger than me even, with urine therapy. That's quite amazing. Veganism is definitely healthy. Here you piss in a cup, in a jar, in a bottle, and you let it stand there in grey England. Looks so beautiful, right? So colorful. And it heals your depression. Listen, guys, the thing is this. I heard people having positive reactions to urine therapy at first. I heard vegans talk about it, raw vegans. Because yes, you are recycling your protein. So your body got some type of nutrition extracted out of your cells. And this is why it makes them feel better. Try sushi. Try liver. Try high meat. Try anything on those lines and see how much more happy you would be. And honestly, just looking at his face, especially here, the mental illness is staring at you. It's not an insult. It's the truth. This guy is severely mentally ill. Think about what he's doing. He's posing with a jar of pee and taking a proud picture. Here he is drinking his own pee and taking another picture and being happy that this is being published in the NY Post. This is, of course, severely mentally deprived. It's unbelievable. But they won't see it. And this is what veganism leads to. Not every single time, dear vegans. I know not everybody drinks their own pee-pee, but in many instances we've seen this deterioration. And let's be honest, those guys here, at least, they're trying something natural in a sense. Meanwhile, the mainstream vegans are on antidepressants, they're bleeding out of their butts, and they're using all the supplements under the sun to maintain somewhat. So pick the lesser of the two evils, or don't pick veganism at all. How about that? Wow. Meanwhile, Bloomberg, and this is not a joke article, this is actual truth. This is really, really true. This is really what they awarded. I can't believe this. Bloomberg, Europe edition. Welcome to the channel, Nain Sani, I appreciate it. Masks to contain cow burps among winners of Climate Design Award. Think about this spiritual sickness, because it truly is. There are people, scientists, inventors, that truly build masks for ruminant animals, mask those animals in the hope that through that they will save the planet. Imagine how deprived you have to be. Imagine how removed you have to be from reality. Imagine how insane you have to be. Imagine how sick you have to be. I could go on forever. This is insanity. It's unbelievable. Those people really believe by putting on masks on cows, they're going to save the world from climate change. Wow. Just wow. And they're going to win a prize for this. They're going to award each other. Okay. Alright. Cool. That is definitely something. Oh, mamma mia. Thank you very much. Yet again, Javid. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Thank you, everybody that is supporting. Poh, we must have 40 degrees in here, man. It's so hot. I don't have an AC. If I open the window, however, mosquitoes are coming in. And I think you're going to get an annoying background noise. Right now it's quiet. Let's try this for a bit. I need some air. It's so hot in here. Wow. Javid, thank you very much for the $2. He says, not a game changer when I tried drinking urine, but it is the best moisturizer I've ever tried. Takes away my dandruff without showering when rubbed on my scalp, and even takes away armpit odor when rubbed in that spot as well. Yeah, that is interesting. As I said, I heard it from many vegans, raw vegans, but the point of the story is that this is, or should be, the last resort. If you would eat your species-specific diet, which is high in meat, high in raw meat, fermented foods as well, you shouldn't experience any dysbiosis and hence should be in a happy, healthy state. That's pretty much what it is. But anyways, vegans will try anything but meat, so they rather drink pee. Okay. Let me know in the chat, guys, if the background noise is too annoying. Then we'll try to regulate it, but it's too hot in this room. I need to leave the window open. Seriously, WTF. Thanks, Bobby. Enjoyable stream. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Bobby, what do you think of beef testicles as a testosterone booster? Yes, it works. For sure. Has been used for millennia. Absolutely, it is a testosterone booster. But you would have to eat pretty much testicles every day. The new WEF protein shake, piss and bugs. Pretty much, be super healthy. Crickets and pee. Exactly. Try sushi. Yes, yeah, it is the case, man. I mean, when I was a vegan, there were multiple things where I thought I found the Holy Grail. Looking back, it's extremely embarrassing. There was a time when I was cutting, and that is something that I cannot recommend to anybody. On the other hand, I actually can recommend it because it will kick you out of veganism even faster. When you're cutting on a vegan diet, this is when you really start seeing how deprived you actually are. If you're bulking on a vegan diet, it is a little bit less severe. This is why the vegans constantly have to remind you, you have to eat enough calories, Yeah, because if you're eating enough calories, it kind of masks the other deficiencies. Because at least you have the macros, more or less. And the micros don't matter that quickly. But after a while, you're going to get into deficiencies either way. However, if you're cutting, really shredding down on a vegan diet, that's when you're going to quit. You're going to see, you will have pregnancy cravings, essentially. It's unbelievable. But during that time, when I was cutting, I was already in a delusional state due to veganism and due to the caloric deficit. And that's when I got this absolutely glorious idea that I reinvented the wheel. Veganism itself, a plant-based diet, is not how it works. That's why so many vegans drop out. What we really need is a fungus-based diet. Yes, hardcore cringe, hardcore embarrassing, but that was really my perspective back then. I believed that because mushrooms are... mushrooms are neither animal nor plant, they must be the missing link. And there is a good reason to it, that mushrooms taste so meaty, right? They taste so meaty, and some mushrooms even have vitamin D3. Allegedly, some mushrooms even had vitamin B12. Not true, but I believed that. And so I was getting convinced that you have to implement at least 5 to 10 different mushroom species into your diet on a daily basis in order to, really have a healthy lifestyle. So plant-based diet would be, from the past, I was convinced that I'm going to tell everybody on YouTube, that is the next diet you have to do in order to be healthy. It's so hardcore cringe and so mentally ill and so sick, but I really believed it. I believed that the human being will become a mushroom, more or less, by replacing the proteins from meats by mushroom proteins. There is a good reason why Quorn, do you know Quorn, the brand, uses mycelium protein in order to make meat replacements. Yes, this is the Holy Grail, this is it. Yeah, I was really insane. I was really totally mentally ill as a vegan. It's crazy. I don't even recognize myself anymore. The interesting thing, however, is that prior to veganism, I was very similar to the way that I'm now. But during veganism, I was just a different person, completely different person, with the craziest ideas ever. That's why I'm a firm believer of spiritual possession, of demonic possession. Insane. Okay, enough anecdotes. Let me get back into the chat. The fun guy died, yeah, pretty much. It's not embarrassing when you realize later how it was. Learning, we all done stuff we regret, but yeah, it's easier to say than you think. But just saying, yeah, it's not like I'm regretting it per se. It makes a fun story, but yeah, it is very, very cringy. It's hardcore cringy. Like, how can you be so depleted? I was so depleted, I thought the fungus died. This is it. Ahmed Frahan says, all moral subjectivists have no arguments since their mind is nothing but chemical reactions that delude itself on having a meaning when there is none but merely chemical reactions. Yeah, as I said previously and on our last live stream here as well, if you don't have any type of objective truth, then nothing that you say or do is objectively true. So therefore, why would I listen to you? It doesn't make sense. I get a B12 by mixing poo with dirt and river stream water. Yeah, that's how we should do it, obviously. No, you were cool, just misled. Yeah, but that's the interesting part for me, right? How we get misled. I am deeply convinced that we open ourselves up to external influence. I'm not talking about external influence from people, but from demonic influences. Honestly, I am a firm believer of that because I've seen it. If you look into people's eyes, they're not there anymore. They're just somebody else. And I definitely had that during my excursion with New Age, my excursion with veganism, etc., etc. I just wasn't there anymore at all. You were really shroomed out of your mind, Bobby. Pretty much. Of course, it played a huge relation that I did psychedelics, mushrooms, and I really believed that, oh wow, evolution itself didn't happen like Darwin said it, but the mushrooms made us evolve. That's the missing link. So the mushrooms made us human, and now we're not eating mushrooms? Oh, how? We need those mushrooms back into our diet, otherwise we will suffer, and then we start eating animals because we are sick. Yeah. I love mushrooms on my steak. Yeah, with a pepper sauce, it can be nice. I actually nowadays don't even enjoy mushrooms that much. It's quite crazy. As a vegan, for example, food that I would enjoy as a vegan. Let's think about it. I would definitely enjoy mushrooms. And I had multiple different mushrooms in Asia that I would really, really like eating. But nowadays, I don't really care for them at all. Other foods that I really, really liked as a vegan, sweet potatoes, pumpkin, I enjoyed so much. Nowadays, couldn't care less. Don't like it much. What else did I like? Peanut butter. I didn't eat peanut butter on a daily basis, but peanut butter was such a treat. Oh wow, peanut butter, so delicious. Everybody loves peanut butter. I really don't like peanut butter at all. At all. And nowadays, because I'm much more in tune with my body, if I try a little bit of peanut butter, it doesn't even feel nice in my body. It doesn't sit well at all. So yeah, peanut butter I really enjoyed. Nut butters in general. What a weird word. But yeah, I really enjoyed nut butters. I couldn't care less. I just want grass-fed raw butter. And that's it. I don't want any peanut butter, no almond butter, no nothing. Yeah, 90% of those foods that I ate as a vegan, I don't want to eat. And that's the funny thing, right? They tell you, oh, when you go vegan, you get so many new options. Oh, it just opens up, so interesting. Oh, I can eat so much more foods now. No, you cannot eat more foods now. You can eat everything as an omnivore. That's the reality. A vegan cannot eat more foods than I can eat. It's total BS, right? I can eat vegan food. I can eat carnivore food. I can eat raw food. I can eat whatever I want. That's the freedom that I have. But the point is that nowadays, man, I really don't want to eat that vegan stuff at all. The only vegan food that I would enjoy nowadays would be some fruits, like durian, which is by default vegan, coconuts, some fresh mango, okay, that I would enjoy. A vegan dish that I might be able to enjoy to this very day, even though I haven't tried it in a while, would be fresh little wraps. Not with bread, but in Thailand, that is thin rice paper and then filled with raw vegetables. It was refreshing. So I think I would enjoy those nowadays as well. I can't guarantee it, I would have to try. But that's as crazy as I would go. Anything else, get away with that stuff. I don't want any of it. Thank you very much. Guys, I'm getting this question every single stream, man. the no-fab semen retention every single stream. I said it before, I should make a video on it, but I have so little interest in it or in talking about it that, yeah, I've never done a video, but every live stream I talk about it. So I'm not gonna talk about it one more time today, but thank you very much. Let me just double check something. Thank you very much, Luca B. I'm gonna read out in a second, bro. 1 second, 1 second. I have to check something here. Okay. Luca B, thank you very much for the support. Thank you everybody from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it, guys. As an Asian, I hate durian, it stings. Ah, blasphemy, get out of here. Banned. Just kidding. I know, some people hate it. For me, it's heaven. I love durian, I love the smell. For me, it doesn't stink at all. I don't understand how people think it stings. For example, when we have blue cheese in the house, because my wife is French and she loves blue cheese, that stings repulsive. That stings like feet. I don't like it. And I don't understand how anybody would like it, but people do apparently. And I think it's the same with durian, right? So I absolutely love durian. I could eat it every single day. And if I make it out to Southeast Asia, I will, for sure. I will live off meat and durian. But yeah, I don't understand it. Like how people think it's smelly, because for me it doesn't smell like anything in particular. Like anything disgusting in particular, rather. For me it smells fruity. A little bit like a, what do you call those things? Juicy fruit bubble gum. A bit like that. Okay, Luca B, 10 bucks, thank you very much. Bobby, do you like kaimak? First and foremost, applause for the support. Everybody again. I don't like kaimak. I don't like kaimak. I'm a very, very weird Balkan Slav. I don't like kaimak. So, I like cevapcici. I like burek. I don't like sarma. I don't like kaimak. Ajvar is okay, but I prefer any other sauce over ajvar, for sure. I mean, there are so many nice sauces on this planet. Ajvar is definitely not my favorite. I have German friends that love ajvar. I definitely love baklava, that's enjoyable. But yeah, kaimak, not my thing. Any type of dairy, to be totally honest, from the Balkans, not my thing at all. I don't like kaimak. The yogurt, maybe, with the Bulgarian bacteria in it, is nice. But that's about it. I don't like the white cheese either. Not my thing. Grew up in the West. Yeah, don't like it. But thank you very much, Luca. I appreciate it. Follow. Jackfruit and white mango in Malaysia were good too. I never had white mango. That sounds amazing. I had jackfruit for sure, but white mango, no. Raw butter with starchy food tastes amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, simple white rice drenched in butter is delicious. When will you trip on mushrooms again? That's a very, very good question. So, at the moment, I'm not looking at all at mushrooms. Absolutely zero. The last time that I have tripped was in December, I would like to say 2020, but I think it's even 2019. Yeah, it must have been. It was before Kurats. So yeah, my last mushroom trip was in December 2019. So 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago. I haven't gotten the pull at all. Zero. So I can't tell anything about it because I always do it when I get the pull to it. Right now I'm completely embedded in this life. I'm taking care of my child, family, so many things to sort out, so much to do. I just don't feel the pull at all. That being said, I'm not talking bad about mushrooms ever. Even when I got fully immersed into orthodoxy and people were telling me, this is pharmakia, this is evil, this is from the devil, you shouldn't touch it. Without mushrooms, I wouldn't be alive. That's just what it is. That's what it is. I was suicidally depressed. I was sick, autoimmune disorder. I was partially paralyzed. and nothing helped. So only the mushrooms helped, and therefore I am forever grateful, and mushrooms will forever be a part of me, and I love them. But it's not so much that I love the experience itself. I never was into tripping out, dude. I didn't like that altered state of consciousness per se, but I became very, very good at navigating it. Very, very good at navigating it. I'm saying that with no pride or anything on those lines, but I became very, very good at navigating that realm and going deep, deep, deep into the experience, breakthrough experience after breakthrough experience, witnessing the glory of God, aliens, demons, Satan himself, everything. I've seen it all on mushrooms. So therefore, yeah, I've seen my fair share. And the last mushroom trip was about choosing a religion. And since then, my chapter in life has been religion, essentially, with everything that comes tied with it, be it more conservative values, be it creating a family, getting married, etc., etc. So I'm at this stage in my life. It doesn't mean that I will never do it again, but at the same time, right now I cannot tell you that I will do it ever again. We will see. Bobby, have you tried LSD? Yes, absolutely. I had very, very interesting experiences on LSD. Inal Gukejev asks, I'm new to the channel. Hi. What do you think about Russia? What do I think about Russia? So if you're asking about the conflict now with Ukraine, not on Russia's side or on Ukraine's side. I very much detest the live stream. Not the live stream. Wow, I detest the live stream. The live footage and covering of the Ukraine situation. I very much detest how all the eyes are on Ukraine now and pray for Ukraine and don't you know how important it is that we take care about Ukraine. I stand with Ukraine. So yeah, I definitely detest that attention. However, Russia itself, which part? Putin, I personally do not trust. I do not trust either. Thank you very much again, David. I personally do not trust either that Putin will create this orthodox utopia, that he will create this absolute orthodox safe haven. I just don't see it that way. And other than that, geographically, Russia, man, is spreading across multiple former nations, so to speak, be it Kyrgyzstan or be it Dagestan, be it Chechnya, etc., etc. So Russia itself is more like an ecosystem similar to the United States. This is why it is a superpower. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can tell you about it. So I have very good Russian friends, if that's what you mean. Russia is just so big to define it. Like, what part are we talking about? Are we talking about the people? I always met nice people from Russia. Even though you always have this typical picture when you're in Thailand. You always have top model chick, super hot, 10 out of 10. And then next to her you have this Russian bellied, dead type of guy with such a look on his face, never smiling, fat Rolex on his wristband. Very, very interesting. So Russians that I met in Thailand, on the other hand, they seem to be afraid of smiling. So if you smile at them like, hey, all good, bro, they think you're gay or something. So they're very, very scared to communicate openly, it seems. But the Russians that I met in Germany, always very nice to me, always forthcoming, friendly people. That's that. That's what I can tell you about Russia. Okay. Now, let me just see something here. I wanted to show you this. Exactly. Here we are. Like so. See? This little meme here. When USA bombs, and so we have countries like Cambodia, Kuwait, Lebanon, Nicaragua, Palestine, Panama, Somalia, Vietnam, Yugoslavia, of course, Bosnia, Guatemala, El Salvador, China, Congo, Cuba, Korea, Peru, Sudan, Iran, Korea, Indonesia, Laos, Iraq, Pakistan, Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, Libya, so on and so forth. All of those countries have been bombed by America, but then everybody is blind. You don't see anything. But when Russia bombs Ukraine, you have it here, no war, make peace, I stand with Ukraine, yeah. It's just absolutely amazing how people are so quickly outraged. We just show them what they should be outraged at, and they're outraged. No worries. By the way, here, for my brothers here on this channel, people think that's a Muslim. That's actually an Orthodox Christian nun. So before you start talking against hijab again, people, just keep in mind, this is how Christian Orthodox nuns look like. Same hijab. And one thing I want to show you as well, let me just scroll up. I cannot show this here on YouTube. Again, subscribe to my Telegram, guys. Thank you very much again, Javid. Thank you so much for the ongoing support, brother. I really appreciate it. Let me just put Telegram back on. What's happening here? Sound devices, volume mixer, here we go. 1 second, I just had my Telegram off. Here we go, fantastico. Check this out, a Freudian slip.
Contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine.
The smile is so telling. Look at this.
Of Iraq.
Yeah.
Of Ukraine.
We all know what we're talking about. We all know I'm that guy. We all know, but we're just gonna ignore that and point the finger at Putin. He's the bad guy. Who cares? Who cares about Iran? Doesn't matter. It's over now, right? Unbelievable, man. This is human misery at its finest. I don't even know if I want to show you this. Stuff like this we post on Telegram. Look at this woman. She actually cut off her breasts, including nipples. This is on TikTok, by the way. This is for kids to watch. I don't know how you call that thing. I forgot the terminology. There's a specific terminology similar to liposuction or vasectomy or whatever, you name it. So they cut off their breasts, their boobs, completely, and the nipples as well, and then they tattoo their chest just black. Talking about demonic possession. I would bet, I'm betting $1,000 right now that she's vegan. Anyways, check it out.
Holy fucking smokes, dude. My cut is insane. Shout out to my barber, dog.
Wow. And you can see that underneath this mental illness, there is somewhere still a pretty human being left. She looks severely malnourished. I'm betting she's a vegan. Has to be. I have tattoos myself, and I say that it is definitely a mental illness. If I look back when I got them as a vegan. I was definitely not in the right mind. If I were eating meat, I am 99.999% sure that I wouldn't have gotten tattoos on that note. So I'm open to self-critique as well. But how do you reverse this? This woman literally, and who does that? Which doctor? They cut out her boobs. Unbelievable. The mutilation, think about that. They cut out her boobs, including nipple. It's completely gone. She will never be able to breastfeed. Look at this. And this perverted guy here is just, I don't even know what he's doing, petting her chest.
Holy fucking smokes, dude. My cut is insane. Shout out to my barber, dog.
Wow. Very, very saddening to me when I see stuff like this. Just humans throwing their life away. Repulsive. This is new. The Queen James Bible. Yes, this is real. The Queen James Bible. This is a Bible for the Bible for the LGBTQP people. Here's the Queen James Bible for all the easy believers. It removes all verses pertaining to godly sorrow in the believer's life, all verses on the moral conduct of a person who possesses the Holy Spirit. Interesting. So basically it just gives you little stories of what you want to hear. Strokes your ego a bit, tells you everything will be just fine the way that you are. Amazing. Okay, anyways, we had the super chat. Thank you very much. Let me double check here. Javid one more time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now my green screen is really letting go slowly but surely. More light. More light. More light. Does it help? Maybe like this. More or less. Okay. Javid says. Actually, we have two. 1 second. 2 super chats by Javid. Thank you very much. He says, notice a recent CarMax commercial showing an astronaut looking at a flat Earth in the first 5 seconds. That is interesting. Let me see. Let me try to open it up. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. I'm gonna put the sound off, you never know. Very, very interesting. To me, still a absolutely fascinating subject. As I said before, I'm really looking forward to getting some flat earthers here on the stream. Up until now, I couldn't contact anybody, but we're definitely going to check it out. Thank you very much, Javid. I appreciate it, man. And now we had again Javid. Thank you very much. After showing my Glober friend that commercial, he says the astronaut will not float in space unless the Earth is round because of gravity. I'm confused because I thought astronauts float because of no wind, no air and gravity in space. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So gravity is not bound to the shape of the Earth at all. That doesn't add up. And one more super chat, thank you very much. Again, Javid, don't like tripping on LSD. I enjoy it more as a low dose stimulant, but not to the point where I'm trippy. It's productive on a low dose. Shrooms are better for tripping. Do you share this experience, Bobby? I personally do like shrooms better for tripping, because the way that I see it is that on shrooms you always have like a helper with you. So depending on the mushroom itself, you have this feeling that there is an entity with you consistently and is putting you to the test and is putting you from mission to mission, from level to level. That's at least how it feels like to me. As if I'm in a dojo of some sorts and I have this grand master who's teaching me stuff. With LSD, on the other hand, I felt left alone, basically. So it felt more like the internet. You have Google at your disposal and you can search for whatever you want. And I had very, very interesting trips on LSD, but they weren't spiritually significant to me. They weren't very deep either, aside from one, I have to say, but that's a story for another day, let's put it that way. But my solo trips on LSD were never as profound and as significant learning lessons as mushrooms. I have never tried LSD low dose. I tried mushrooms low dose, however, and mushrooms low dose I really don't like. Even as microdosing goes, I tried it so many times and I simply don't get the benefit out of it. It affects me differently every other day, and therefore it's very, very unreliable. I would like to try microdosing LSD. I would definitely be open to that experiment to see how it affects me, but I don't have a source for LSD at the moment anyways. But that would be interesting to see if it really pushes creativity, vision, perception, etc. I would love to try it for jiu-jitsu as well. I think that would be very, very interesting. Yeah, so I prefer mushrooms for tripping for sure. BJJ2, so maybe him. Who? Laurent. Let me double check here. LSD is more like digital, mushrooms are more like, and mushrooms are more like analog. Yeah, that's a pretty cool description, I have to say. Eddie Bravo is a flat earther. No. Eddie Bravo is possibly a flat earther. That might be. But Eddie Bravo is not an expert in that field. So as he said many times before, he believes rather in that. And he doesn't believe mainstream media. And with that, we are pretty much alike here. However, I would rather get somebody on that did his research on it. Maybe even wrote a book on it. Hi Bobby, would you consider yourself to be a religious person? That's a very good question, man. I would have to say, thank you again. Guys, help the brother out here, man. Javid is the only supporter now. What's going on? Thank you very much, Javid. I really, really appreciate it. Again. First, let me answer that. It's an interesting question because at the moment I would have to say that I'm not religious in that sense. So I personally come from the Christian Orthodox background. I am deeply involved with religious study, let me put it that way. I read the whole Quran, I read the whole Bible, now I'm rereading parts of the Bible yet again. I'm reading Gospels that didn't make it into the Bible, I'm reading Hadiths, so I'm very much focused on the Abrahamic faiths. But am I very religious? I would have to say no, because ultimately I'm not really adhering to the religious dogma of any type of religion at the moment. So I'm not doing any type of ritual that comes with a particular religion at the moment. And hence I would have to say that I am, if anything, a firm believer in God, a firm believer in God. I would describe myself as a monotheist, and even further than that, I would have to say that I would be considered a monist. A monist means essentially that God is the only ultimate reality. Yeah, that is pretty much it. And after studying the Quran, if you ask me personally, my beliefs do line up very, very precisely with the Quran, with the oneness of God. But at the moment, yet again, I would lie if I would say I am a religious person. So I'm a God-fearing person. I'm definitely not going to give you the dumb spiel of I'm spiritual but not religious. No, that's not it either. I come from a Christian Orthodox background that I revisited for 2 years straight, and I really want to be identified with it. I respect the prophets of God, the messengers of God, the revelations of God, but I'm still not a religious person. I'm a monotheist. Yeah. Okay. Back to Javid. Thank you very much, Javid. Thank you everybody that is supporting, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Leave me a thumbs up. Just a second. It doesn't take much. Did you test your LSD? Were you ever worried about laced LSD with Fent? I agree, shrooms on microdose are useless. Either you don't feel anything or it is too strong to be productive. Exactly right. That's how it is. Sometimes you don't feel anything and then it's overwhelming, dude. So not a good thing. And fentanyl, back then there was no such thing when I used it. I was worried about N-Bohm. That's how they called it. Some sort of designer molecules. N-Bohm. I forgot the other ones. There were certain designer chemicals that were circulating. So I did the UV light test and it seemed fine. So that's what I did back then. And I definitely had a few trips that I didn't test as well. But thank God everything went fine. Nowadays I'm not into it. I'm not trying it. If somebody would give me pharmaceutical LSD, then I might microdose it, but otherwise, nah, thanks. Mushrooms is more like weed, LSD more like hash. I doubt that, bro. Take a higher dose then. I'm an agnostic theist, I think that's what it's called. Mushrooms is like Lord of the Rings, LSD is like Star Wars. Not necessarily, man. There are certain mushrooms that are just like Star Wars as well. So, for example, B positive is a synthetic mushroom. It's a hybrid. Acts totally different. Golden Teacher, on the other hand, is very much like Lord of the Rings, if you will. So it depends. There are some modern mushrooms as well. Mazatapek can be quite trippy, cyber-esque as well. Would you remove your tattoos today? It would cost a ton to remove my whole arm. Would be a lot of pain. Would be a lot of not being able to train. But yeah, I would definitely remove my tattoos, yeah. Bobby, have you tried sensory deprivation? I did the sensory deprivation tank, but just 2 times in Bangkok. And I didn't feel anything. It was very relaxing and nice, but I didn't have any visions. N-bomb is nasty also. Yeah, I never had it, so thank God. But I heard that some trips are laced with N-bomb. Which mushrooms are good for autoimmune healing? Again, no recommendations here. What I did, nobody else should do. Only if it's legal within your country. I personally found a great benefit with the Ecuadorian one. The Ecuadorian one definitely did a phenomenal job. But the Mazatapek mushroom was fantastic as well. Those were the 2 first ones I was working with. Golden Teacher was amazing for spiritual lessons, but not so much for my autoimmune disorder. B positive did some healing as well, for sure. McKenna or McKennai was very interesting spiritually. So me personally, for the autoimmune disorder, I have to stick to Mazatapek and Ecuadorian. Yeah. Okay, anyways, guys, I've been at it for 2 hours straight. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm gonna stick around for 5 more minutes. So 5 more minute warning. If you want to support, you can do it now. In 5 minutes, I'm gonna be offline. So now I'm gonna try to answer as many last questions here as possible. 5 minutes, I am gone. Do you listen to black metal? No, I don't listen to black metal. I do like some rock here and there, but lately I couldn't listen to it at all, man. Maybe it's due to summertime or whatnot, but I just don't feel like rock at all. What I've been listening to lately is Donny Benet. Konnichiwa. Donny Benet, check him out. Really amazing artist. I love it. So yeah, synthwave, retro wave, but I'm not listening to much music, I have to say. I always have my phases. I hear something and then I listen to it for a while before it gets boring to me. I am not so much of a music guy. Alex Jones. Bobby, have you tried mescaline? No, unfortunately not. When I was in Peru, I was surrounded by it, but it never came to it. I even was at markets, like fruit markets, and they had mescaline cactuses there. Cacti, you say, right? Yeah, but I didn't take any. Recovering from brain damage due to a disgusting drug. See, that's not good. Stay away from drugs, guys. Yeah? Wait a second. Sorry for that, guys. I just had to see if everything is fine with my son here. Do you live in Germany? No, I don't live in Germany. At the moment, I'm living in France. I am from Germany, but I left Germany 2014. So that's been 8 years by now. Yeah. Be Positive is my favorite. It's a good one. It's definitely a good one. Bobby Zdravo i Salam is New York. Zdravo i Salam. Infant Annihilator is a great band. Okay, that's a weird name. I was vegetarian for many years until I stopped drinking coffee. When I stopped, my body started craving meat. Interesting. I think all vegetarians, vegans consume coffee to have the illusion of energy. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point, man. I mean, most videos that we see on vegans and vegetarians, they do start the day with some sort of stimulant. And I can see a correlation. For me, it was quite interesting, actually, now that you mentioned that. Because at the end of my veganism, I was so starved, so deprived, it was just disgusting, that I started not being able to tolerate coffee. So I was drinking coffee and I would get the shivers, shakes, get paranoid, breathing difficulties. It was so horrendous. And then I quit coffee. And that's actually when I started waking up to it as well. Wow. We have something here, man. That's very, very interesting. I'm definitely going to talk about that in a video at some point. It happened to me as well. It's really the case. So vegans definitely should lay off the coffee and the stimulants in order to be able to listen to their body again, because otherwise they're overstimulated and they cannot listen to the science. Interesting. Thank you very much for that comment. That plays a huge role. I should write that down. Johannes Olofsson, how you doing, brother? From Telegram. Bobby, why isn't nations important or racial unity? Weren't we divided into different nations for a reason? Interesting question. As I said before, I personally am not a nationalist. Ultimately, it comes through my search into the past of Macedonia. So growing up, especially when I was 16 years old roughly, I think plenty of kids from the Balkan, but possibly from other countries as well, of course, they go through this ultra patriotic period where they really identify with their country and they love their country so much, etc., etc. But for me, it came crumbling down like a house of cards because I realized, oh wow, the nation of Northern Macedonia has been artificially created. And then I started looking into history. And like that, I was able to find out that pretty much all the nations on the Balkan have been created one way or another. And in 99% of the instances, there was an elite behind it that benefited through the separation of those people. So now I am not blue-eyed on that subject. I am not numb to the reality of race and to the reality of ethnicity. I would say that it plays a role, certainly. However, again, especially on the Balkan, you will see that even if you look into the DNA, that the Balkan people could easily be one people, if not divided in, let's say, two people, if they must. But the nations themselves are definitely arbitrarily. And this arbitrary separation of people led to nothing but wars on the Balkans. So now if we look upwards, we look into the West, what do we got? We got Germany. Okay, how are Austrians different than Germans? Sorry, Austrians, but you're not. You even speak German, right? How are the Ukrainians different than the Russians now, right? That whole land that encompasses so many different ethnicities, how is Ukraine different now than Russia? So on and so forth. So if you look at borders, at some point it becomes arbitrary. But yet again, I'm not blind, I'm not delusional. I do understand that there are, for example, Germanic people. I do understand that we have Scandinavian people, etc., etc., etc. However, I see as well that this nationalism is essentially a dead end. Because the hyper-identification with your nation that has been created by certain people, its name has possibly been changed 1,000 times, is the worship of worldly things. And ultimately, like that, you can never reach God. So in my search for God, I had to let go of that nationalism as well and understand that it's all God's creation, right? It's all God's creation. And therefore I cannot be hyper-focused on one ethnicity, one race, one nation, yada, 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 yada. Which, yet again, I'm not blind. doesn't mean that you shouldn't defend your country if it comes to a real reason of defending your country. However, there is no such thing anymore. There is no real reason to defend your country anymore because your country is already taken over. So again, in 99% of cases, your countries are already taken over. You just have to look at the banking system of your country and look who's in charge of your banking system. And then you will find out who's in charge of your politics as well. And then you will realize that you already lost your country. That's the unfortunate truth. So therefore, if you look into mass migration now, the anger and the hate of the nationalists that is directed towards those groups is absolutely misdirected. It should be directed towards the invisible hand behind the whole orchestra, if you know what I mean. And that's why nationalism ultimately, for me, doesn't make sense. It's a distraction. It's a humongous distraction of what is true and what is right. I hope that answered the question. Romania is also a fake country created recently with a synthetic language. All documents there written were Bulgarians throughout history and they called themselves Bulgarians. I would say that a huge chunk of Romania for sure. I mean, historically speaking, absolutely. I wouldn't say all of it, and ultimately it became the Roman legion, and therefore they became the Romanians. But those people are definitely not Romans in that sense, but the language nowadays is based on Roman, so it is Romanian, and that is their history. But ethnically speaking, yeah, we all know what is going on. Absolutely. Bobby, get vegetable police on. I invited the guy. I can't say it one more time. Again, I really like the guy, so I'm not even taking it the wrong way. I met him in Thailand. I just think he is in a extremely anxious, social, awkward phase in his life and doesn't want to come live. But yeah, I invited him. I'm not going to run after him now. All good though. Österreicher sind sehr wohl anders als Deutsche, lol. Yeah, the thing is this, right? So they say Austrians are different than Germans. I mean, even within Germany, like if you compare somebody from Cologne to somebody that's from rural Munich, the surroundings of Munich, Bavaria rather, two different dialects completely, right? So Austrian and Bavarian could be their own things. Again, if you want to base it on Germanic people, ultimately that was the mission of AH as well back in the day, right? He wanted to unite the Germanic peoples. If you go to the northern part of France, you have so many German city names around here, and genetically those people are not different than the Germans either. If you go into the south of France, it might differ. But that's the point, it's arbitrary, it really is. Man, a veg police live discussion would be great. Yeah, it would be cool, man. Tell the guy. Since Thailand, we've been in contact here and there, sporadically. We would write here and there, or Facebook. And he would always respond. But when I asked him for the live stream, all of a sudden he's not responding anymore. Thanks for that, Bobby. I'm curious. I'll give it a go one day. I heard it's very beneficial and more gentle than other psychedelics. Kind of like having a grandfather guide to journey with his wisdom. That's how it usually is. Mach mehr deutschen content. Yeah, I have to go back to German content. I had no time lately at all. It was insane. Okay. Anyways, guys, that was more than 5 minutes. That was 10 minutes now. Thank you very much yet again for tuning in. Thank you very much for supporting. I truly, truly appreciate it. I hope you had just as much fun as me during this live stream, live hangout. I had the time of my life. I loved it. Thank you very much, guys. Now, it was really, really enjoyable. Thank you so much for the support. Next week, Sunday, we're going to have John Venus on, discuss veganism with him, discuss what is new after 1 year of social media. That should be interesting. Like the stream, support the stream, check out the description box, help a brother out. Right, guys, but this is it for today, for tonight, for this morning, wherever you are. As always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.
you